Alright you guys, today's video we're going to be showing you guys how to install a heavy duty alternator. This is a 350 amp heavy duty unit. Alright you guys, first thing we need to do is go ahead and kill the power to the truck. All I have to do is go ahead and flick it off like you guys just saw. If you guys don't have that, go ahead and disconnect the negative side of your batteries. Second thing, we're going to need a 1/2 inch breaker bar, 1/2 inch drive. My truck, the stock degas bottle has been deleted and moved over here. The belt tensioner is here at the tip of my finger. It has a square cutout. This is indicated for a 1/2 inch drive breaker bar. Okay, go ahead, take your breaker bar, insert it into the hole. We need to go ahead and push this bar counterclockwise. All right, once you do that, take your left hand, hold the breaker bar, pull it off the top of your alternator. Slowly and carefully remove your breaker bar. Right, we disconnected the power to the vehicle. Went ahead, remove our bell. Next we need to do is go ahead, disconnect the plug in the back. This connector appears to be broken, so all we have to do is take a flathead or a scribe and push up on the back of that connector. All right, went ahead, cut our connector off. This one was broken, that's why it's being so stubborn. We're gonna go ahead, go to the parts store, get a replacement pigtail to replace that. This truck has a big 3 upgrade, meaning it has an extra wire on top of the stock charging cable. Now, with a big heavy duty alternator, I'll throw a picture up on the screen now. Here's a recommended wiring you guys need for your certain application. To the left, you guys can see how many amps. To the right, you guys can see estimated cable you guys should run, approximately to the size of your alternator. We're above 170 amps. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade to at least a 2-watt. I've already done that off camera. This truck has aftermarket wiring in it. I've already done the big 3. I've already upgraded the grounds. The power wire is a big 3-aught, so we are good in that department. We need to go ahead and remove the stock cable. Using a 10mm wrench and a ratchet, let's go ahead, loosen it. Be sure to not drop the nut down inside the engine bay. Now, to remove the alternator, there's 3 13mm bolts. This truck has a custom regulator return, so this back bolt is hidden behind this regulator. If your guys' truck has a stock fuel system, a stock fuel bowl assembly, ignore that. We went ahead, disconnected the power, the belt, 3 mounting bolts, lift up, remove the alternator off the bracket. There's your stock unit. Here's our factory unit. Here's our electrical 350 amp heavy duty alternator. Now, coming over here to the stock one, you can see one thing that's obvious. This pulley is much bigger than the stock one. Now, we're going to be overdriving or spinning the new alternator faster than the stock one. Number 2, the stock one's 110 amp. A cheap alternative upgrade, if you guys don't want to spend this type of money, you guys can upgrade to the Excursion, which is 160 amp versus the stock 110 amp that came on the pickup truck models. Or if your guys' truck has the opportunity to run the dual alternator function, you guys can replace that for 1. You have easier belt routing, easier of install, and you guys don't have to worry about replacing 2 alternators. Unless your guys' truck has the ambulance package and you guys have the dual alternators, you could run 2 of these bad boys in parallel. The plugs are different. As you guys can see, this is an aftermarket hairpin. This is a stock style plug. To rectify that, if you got the joke, we have our wiring adapter here. That'll fit just like that. This will plug into the factory connector. We're gonna go ahead and have to replace. You guys notice, these are steel bolts going to an aluminum front drive accessory bracket. Go ahead and use some anti-seize on these bolts. Looks 10 times better already. We need to go ahead and cut the stock end off. Go ahead and do that with a pair of snips. Use some scissors. We're gonna go ahead and cut the coating. We're gonna go ahead and cut the sheathing off the wire. All right, we're gonna go ahead and solder this on there. You guys can use a simple hammer on a piece of wood, but sometimes that doesn't always work. So we have a torch, we have some normal plumber solder. This is for brazing, sweating, what do you want to call it? Normal electrical solder works as well, but this stuff's thicker, doesn't dissipate. We have the pair of vice grips. We're gonna set that there, okay, so they can't fall. Go ahead and fill that hole up. Keep some constant heat on it, all right? We're simply going to just push it in there, and that's literally it. There's nothing to it. All right, you guys, went ahead, got that new connector on got it at the local parts store. Soldered it, heat shrunk over this cable here. We have our new end on with our grommet. And here's our lead here. Had to move a couple things around to get some more slack. But you guys can see this one's nice and thick, okay? And heat shrinks a little, heat messed up there. But anyways, so that'll get connected to that. That'll go on top of that, and then we'll put that lock washer. I want to get a small little flat washer to go underneath that. But yeah. All right, you guys, the alternator is all installed. I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up here in a second. I want to give you guys a quick overview. You can see, got all our wires ran up, behind, over the H-pop, over my regulator return, and up to the top of the alternator here. Got the new eyelet on, cleaned all the wiring up, re-loomed that, re-taped it, cleaned up some sensors and things down in there. Got our belt back on. Again, we're using the stock belt with the 7-rib pulley because it's a hair smaller than the factory one, and we still have plenty of slack on the tensioner there. You guys can see everything's back on using the stock belt. All right, and another thing, if you guys want to do a big 3 upgrade kit, honestly what you guys can do is you can go to the parts store and you can buy those, you can get those prefabricated cables over on the battery section. What you guys can do is go to the parts store, go off this bolt for an example on the alternator bracket, come up over to the negative battery, okay? Or you guys could go to the body of the truck. All right, let there be light. All right, you guys, the cowl's all cleared up, everything's connected. We have our adapter. Now, one thing with the adapter, if you guys wanted to keep an aftermarket alternator, you guys don't want this little junction here, what you could do is you could simply just match the wires up from the old harness, cut them off, and just wire this directly. But just in case I ever have to warranty this, or I'm on the side of the road, this thing ever craps out, whatever the case may be, I want to have this adapter in place. It came with it, might as well use it. And the connector in mine was obviously crapped out anyways. So let's go ahead, fire the truck up and see what it does. Go ahead and bump us down back to modified stock. We'll go to the SET. I use this for a monitor. I don't see a battery light or anything. Look at that. 14.6, 14.5. You guys can see the truck is completely cold. Some glow plugs are definitely going to be on. No voltage drop whatsoever. That's crazy. All right, you guys. You know me, I'm always working at night. Anyways, that's a wrap to installing an electrical 350 amp high output alternator on your 7.3 Powerstroke or your Ford Excursion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick little video. If you did, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe.